We're going to Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So we are delighted to be visited by United Methodist Church of Capel. Is that correct? All right. Awkward question. Are you still truly united, or have things gone a bit awry lately? You think of yourself as united. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Right? Very good. All right. Well, we are delighted to have you here, and you have providentially picked one of the most confusing times in the Jewish calendar to come. So for those of you who are keeping track, officially, with the end of Hoshana Rabbah, which is the seventh day of Sukkot, it is no longer Sukkot. So we don't have to think about Sukkot anymore. However, we have Shmini Atzeret, which begins, and Shmini Atzeret, I don't know how to describe it other than it's like a Wi-Fi extender on Sukkot. So we still get to observe Sukkot for another day, and if you haven't yet fulfilled the obligation of waving the lulav, I have lulavs waiting for you. And so that's all part of the holiday of Sukkot, which I will be happy to take you outside and explain to you, even though it's technically over, even though it's not. And then once we get to Saturday night and Sunday, it will be Simchat Torah, which will be the end of our seemingly endless fall holidays. And I encourage you all to come back on Sunday, 10 o'clock a.m., as we switch over from concluding the reading of the Torah to starting the reading of the Torah. And so you're all welcome for that. You're welcome for that too, if you want. So anyway, we are in this mysterious a dream time period of inexplicability in the Jewish calendar. And we are delighted to have you here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a nigun. Now, a nigun is a wordless melody. 1950s, they did that a lot. Shabbat, Shabbat, these things that don't mean anything. And we're going to give you the Jewish version of that. It's a way of taking us out of ordinary time and getting us into sacred time. So, if you would.
This is the East European lullaby. Ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da da da, ya da da da, ya da da da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da da da. One more time. Ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da da da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da, ya da da da.
We turn to page 24 for our opening of our second service. And let's see, Toby, would you consider doing us the honor of kindling Shabbat lights in a moment? Thank you. All right, so we go to the bottom of page 24. We sit newly gathered before the face of our God, joined together in worship of the eternal to sanctify our existence. How shall we begin to search, to reach the sacred part of ourselves where rests the essence of all that is good? By stopping our concerns for those things which distract us all week long, and by welcoming the Sabbath bride, and by opening ourselves to hear the message, oh so silent, carried to us by the small, still voice of God. We're going to turn now and look over at page 26, and I'd like to invite Toby Rotman to come on, initiate Shabbat with the kindling of Sabbath lights. Our technology is failing us. Oh, man. I think you have to restart that first one. It's the air conditioning. Shabbat. Amen.
Praised are you, Holy One of blessing, whose presence fills the world, who heralds us with wisdom and inspires us to keep Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech
Olam, asher קידשנו במצוותיו, וציוונו להדליק נר, להדליק נר של שבת. Are we doing Anim Zemiorot or are we doing Lechadodi? Dodi Li. So if you look at the top of page 25, you will find the words of the Song of Songs, Dodi Li, my beloved is mine, and I am my beloved, a shepherd among the lilies. We sing that in honor of the holiday, and we'll continue from there. Dodi Li.
Dodi li va'ani lo haro'eh b'shoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haro'eh b'shoshanim. Mitzotola min hamidbar mitzotola. Mi keteret mor ulovana, Libatini achoti kala, libatini kala. Libatini achoti kala, libatini kala. Dodi li va'ani lo haro'eh b'shoshanim. Dodi li va'ani lo haro'eh b'shoshanim.
I sing pleasing melodies and I weave songs, for my soul thirsts for you. My soul desires to rest in the shadow of your hand and to know all your mysterious secrets. Whenever I speak of your glory, my heart yearns for your love. Let my meditation be sweet to you, for my soul thirsts for you. We continue now with Shalom Aleichem. We welcome the angels of Shabbat into our midst.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Chamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Chamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sechem LaShalom, Ma'el HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Chamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Peace be to you, you ministering angels, messengers of the Most High, the Majesty of Majesties, the Holy One of Blessing. Come to us in peace, bless us in peace, and go in peace. And Sai, I think your watch is done. We've got virtually everyone here. Ele chamda libi, husana ve'alna titalem. This is my heart's one desire. In your mercy, do not conceal yourself. Together, Psalm 139. O God, you have searched me and you know me well. You understand all my thoughts and every word upon my tongue. Your presence surrounds me. You touch me with your hand, and your presence exceeds my own perception. It is a wonder beyond imagining. We continue now with the Hatzi Kaddish on page 29.
Yitgada v'yitgada shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Yamad yivrach Yerutei v'yamlich mahutei.
B'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, u'vizman kariv v'yimaru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'alam u'lalmei almaya yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach. V'yit ha'ar, v'yit raman, v'yit nasei, v'yit hadar, v'yit halei, v'yit halal, shmei dekudasha.
Berechu.
Leila min kol birchata v'shirata.
Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'yimaru amen. Hard to believe, but the service hasn't even started yet. So if you are able, please rise for the Baruch.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah Le'olam Va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom our praise is due. Praise be Adonai, to whom our praise is due, now and forever. Psalm 104. Bless the eternal, O my soul, eternal my God, you are very great. You are clothed in majesty, wrapped in light like a robe. You spread out the heavens like a tent cloth. God sets the rafters of the high places in the waters. God makes the wind to be messengers, fiery flames to serve you. You made the deep cover the earth as a garment, and the waves to stand above mountains. You make springs gush forth in torrents. They make their way between the hills. You water the mountain from your high places. The earth is sated from the fruit of your work. The trees of the eternal drink their fill. The cedars of Lebanon, your own planting, where birds make their nest, while the stork has her home in the junipers. God made the moon to mark the seasons, and the sun knows its time to set. How manifold are your works, O Eternal! In wisdom you have made them all. May the glory of the Eternal endure forever, and may you rejoice in your works. Blessed be soul, O my soul. Hallelujah. As I sing of one God, I rejoice in the wonders of this world, and I pray for a day when all people shall be as one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated, and if you're comfortable, please join us in reciting the V'ahavta.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinam tam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha v'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shachtecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam la'od al yadecha v'chayu l'totafot b'neinecha Uchtavtam al mitzutzot beitecha uvisharecha Lama'an titzkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'kohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher Hotzeiti Echem Me'eretz Mitzrayim, Liot Lachem Lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
On the middle of the page, when a Jew speaks a word of prayer in love and awe, the power of that word gives birth to God's glory. And the angels call out to God, "Who is like unto you?" How great is even a single word of such a prayer. It causes the angels to sing. All worlds join the one who serves the eternal. This is the meaning of the Micha Mocha, that the one who sings a song below can arouse so many songs on high. Micha Mocha.
Yai dai 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 dai
Yada dai ba bim bam. Yai dai 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 dai. Yada dai ba bim bam. Yai dai dai yada dai ba bim bam. Yai dai dai yada dai ba bim bam. Micha mocha bailim Adonai. Micha mocha nedar bakodesh. Nora tehilot ol seifele. Nora tehilot ol seifele. Yai dai 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 yada dai ba bim bam. Yai dai 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 yada dai ba bim bam. Yai dai dai yada dai ba bim bam. Yai dai dai yada dai ba bim bam. Who is like you, Adonai, among the mighty? Who is like you, awesome in praise, doing wonders? When your children saw your might at the shore of the sea, "This is my God," they proclaimed. Adonai shall reign forever. We're going to shift gears just a moment here, and we're going to acknowledge that we're approaching our bedtime. And so we're all going to say the Hashkivenu prayer, which reminds us to watch over us tonight and bring us with renewed strength tomorrow. Hashkivenu. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal God, help us to walk with good companions and to live with hope in our hearts. May we lie down in peace and rise up to find our hearts waiting to do your will. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Grant that we lie down tonight in peace, Adonai, our God, and raise us up tomorrow, Adonai, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, and for your name's sake, be our help. Baruch atah Adonai hafores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael va'al Yerushalayim. I might imagine God as a teacher or a friend, but those other images, like king, master, father, or mother, are too small for me now. God is the force of motion and light in the universe. God is the strength of life on our planet. God is the power that moves us to do good. God is the source of love that springs up within us. God is far beyond what we can comprehend. Once again, if able, I'm going to invite you to please stand for the next part of our service, the Tefillah prayers.
Adonai sephatati tahu via vitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu,
Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu,
Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak,
Elohei Yaakov,
Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka,
Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Hashtei Avot V'Imot, U'Mevi Gula L'Ibnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava.
Melech Ozer Mashiach Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol Tara Behoshia. Mekapel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh Hakol Berachamim Rabbi. Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishanei Afar, Mikamocha Ba'al Geburos, Umidom Elah, Melech Meniz Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Manatah Chayot Hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol. Atah Kadosh, Shimcha Kadosh, Kadoshim L'chol Yom Yachalucha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. And in honor of Shabbat, we're going to be singing in the bottom of page 36, Yismechu v'malachu techa, those who keep Shabbat and call it delight shall rejoice in your kingdom. Now, for those of you who've never done this before, you actually get to sing a Hebrew song, all right? So this is how it works. The stanza we'll all sing together. Or the chorus. But when we hit the stanza, it's a call and response. So every time Dr. Nikki says a word, you just say the same word back, okay? And by the time we're done, you'll have sung a Hebrew song. So, Yismechu Maltachutecha on the bottom of page 36.
Yismechu
v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei oneg Shabbat.
Mekadeshe,
Mekadeshe,
Mekadeshe Shavi Shabbat,
Shabbat,
Kulam Yisbeu,
Yisbeu,
V'yitangu metuvecha Shabbat,
Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei oneg Shabbat.
V'hashvi,
V'hashvi,
Sitabo,
Sitabo,
v'kidashto Shabbat,
Shabbat,
Chemdat Yamin,
Yamin,
Oto Karata Shabbat,
Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei oneg Shabbat. Zecher, L'maaseh,
L'maaseh v'reshit Shabbat,
Shabbat,
Zecher,
L'maaseh,
L'maaseh v'reshit Shabbat,
Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha. Shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha. Shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. We continue now with a prayer of acceptance. We reach for you, O God, from our quiet places. May we stand still for a brief moment and listen to the rain. Stand still for a brief moment and watch the play of sunlight and shadow on the leaves. For a brief moment, listen to the world. We need a quiet space to test the balance of our days, the weight of our own needs, that world's demands. The balance is precarious. Steady us with faith. Quiet places and stillness where we will hear our own best impulses speak. Quiet places and stillness where we will reach out to each other. We will find strength in silence, and with that strength, we will turn again to your service. A prayer of thanksgiving. There are times, O God, when I feel alone, and yet I know in my heart that I am never really alone. You're always there, waiting for me to speak to you of my desires, fears, hopes, and dreams. And yet how seldom do I reach out to you to voice my gratitude for all that is beautiful in my life, for all the gifts of my life. Love, family, and friendship have come from you. But the greatest gift of all is your presence, which time and again has given me strength, hope, and courage. So in the midst of doubt and confusion, I need to know that you are beside me, not only in the prayer book, but in the depth of my being, my friend, my strength, my God. We're going to close out this part of our service with Shalom Rav, which means abundant peace. We ask for peace on ourselves and for all communities. So we're going to sing that, and then we're going to take a few moments of silent meditation. You can read the little silent meditation that we provide for you on the next 2 pages, or you can simply offer up whatever's in your own heart.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. B'tov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol leil v'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Yehi uliratso, imre fi v'hegion libi, lifanecha, lifanecha. Adonai suri, suri v'gali. Adonai suri v'gali. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, be acceptable to you. O God, my rock and my redeemer, O God, my rock and my redeemer.
So I come to you tonight in slightly odd couture. I am wearing my police chaplain polo because most of you missed it. Next year, I hope you don't. Basically, we had a police monster truck rally here in our parking lot. And the Flower Mound police brought out all of their vehicles. They had their prowlers and their boats and their drones and their mini drones and all these, and the, crisis control center van and all these things out there for everyone to see. And they were handing out popcorn. And Kol Ami wanted to, do this. And I, as the police chaplain, was there to sort of represent Kol Ami, and so I just didn't have time to go home and change. Now, I've been a police chaplain here in Flower Mound for 24 years, pretty much the same amount of time that I've been the rabbi of this congregation, maybe a little shorter. And it's an interesting thing to do. I do enjoy it, but what does it do for us? I mean, quite honestly, of the many calls I've done for families in extremis as part of the police department, policemen maybe feel like they're not so comfortable trying to deal with the emotional crisis of people. I go out and I talk with people. I have yet in 24 years to be called to a Jewish household. I end up talking to people who are overwhelmingly Christian and people who have lost a loved one or suffered something catastrophic like a fire, the destruction of their home. And my job is to try and comfort them while the police sort out and the fire department sort out all the material disaster that has happened. But we felt very strongly that here at Kol Ami, that we want to be part of this community. We want to contribute in our own way. And that's extremely appropriate in this season because of all the holidays in the Jewish cycle. And we have lots of holidays. We have so many holidays. They're just coming out the wazoo. I mean, we got holidays and we've just completed 1, 2, 3, 4, about a month of holidays, and we're coming up on the 5th. But Sukkot is, in the biblical tradition, the most interfaith of all the holidays. The prophet Zechariah says that the time will come when all the people of the different nations will come up to Jerusalem on Sukkot and celebrate with us. Now, as it turns out, a lot of Christians aren't willing to wait. And Sukkot happens to be the time when there are lots of Christian pilgrims coming into Israel. And when I was living there, and I lived in the old city near the Western Wall, it was a little weird. 7 days I walked out of the old city and there were people coming up with trumpets and banjos and women dancing with tambourines. And I'm like, who are they? And eventually my teachers explained to me that these are all these Christian pilgrims who come to Jerusalem for Sukkot. They take Zechariah very seriously. So that was lovely, and it's lovely to see. Unfortunately, what we have seen this year is something else. Now, this is not new. I will tell you right now that living in the old city, one of the disturbing things you get to see is the fact that Jews are just like everybody else, only more so. So our mensches are mensches, and our jerks are jerks. And when I was living there back in the early 90s, you could see a small segment of the Orthodox community engage in a very offensive behavior. The Chabadniks and the Kahanists, sort of the religious and political extremists, like to go around, and as they walk by a church, they would spit on the door of the church. That was their thing. And the Israeli police were very good about separating them when they tried to pick fights and do things like this. But I saw that several times. Apparently, it's become public knowledge that some ultra-Orthodox engage in this behavior. Apparently, they were spitting in front of, I hope not on, pilgrims coming in during Sukkot. And more troubling than that, and the police have intervened, they've arrested a number of people and done things like this, was that a fellow named Elisha Yered. Elisha Yered is what is known in Israel as a hilltop youth. He's not that young, but what he is a group of young radicals living in the Shtachim, living in the territories. They tend to live rough. They supposedly are Orthodox and observant, though in fact their reading of Torah tends to be the most handpicked, cherry-picked extremist views. And he explained to the news, by the way, this man had been arrested last month for his participation in the burning of part of the village of Harawa. I don't know quite why he's out on bail right now, but he is. Anyway, for some reason, the Israeli press decided to talk to him about this. And he said, oh, well, spitting at Christians is a Jewish custom, which is Norishkeit. It's simply not true. But this is apparently has reached the point in certain segments of the Orthodox community that this is taken as halakha, that this is taken as Jewish practice, not even a custom, but actually an obligation. Now, the stupidity of this idea is just amazing because supposedly their grandparents and great-grandparents were doing this. Now, try and imagine a Jew living in Christian Europe. Every time they encountered a Christian, they would spit on the ground. How long do you think that lasted, right? It's a stupid claim. Unfortunately, it's amazing how many people don't know the Torah that was supposedly taught to them. And unfortunately, these young men are by and large thugs who look like religious young men. They have payas, they wear a talit, or they wear a kippah. Maybe it was 20 years ago that there was an Orthodox speaker in the United States who said something to the effect of, what I don't like about Reform rabbis is they all look like they're accountants, which is a good line. But I heard my teacher offer a different line, which is, what I find disturbing is about the Orthodox is even the most criminal looks like a rabbi. And that's exactly the problem we're dealing with here, is that wrapped in the image of religion, these people behave incredibly crudely, crassly, and violently at times. So I want you to be aware. I guess the important thing for us all to understand is that we all read our traditions selectively. Some of us make up traditions that don't even exist, but we all read our traditions selectively. What's important is that we read for the highest values that we can find within our tradition. Jewish tradition is sprawling, absolutely. I mean, it's 3,500 years of writing, and if a Jew doesn't produce a book, I mean, he hasn't really lived. So now I'm putting that burden on all of you. I've got two. But when you have a tradition that complex and that sprawling, it's very hard to bring it all together and tie it all up in a knot. So it's all right to read selectively, but read with compassion in your heart. That's why the prophet Zechariah talks about the idea of all people gathering in Jerusalem in Sukkot. It's the idea that there will come a time when we will all be drawn together. And I don't think we can fulfill that by creating divisions between us. What we owe to people of other religion is kindness, compassion, and the tradition of loving the stranger that is such a central part of our tradition. Not some silly idea about spitting, which doesn't exist in Torah or Talmud or anywhere else. It really is just made up, but rather true Jewish tradition based on our best teachings. So I hope when you see these stories that it doesn't, well, it does horrify you, but it doesn't discourage you, because this is not a true representation of what Judaism is or what it is striving for. Rather, it's us being part of a larger global community in which we care for each other, we comfort each other, we support each other, and we protect each other. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So with that, it's announcement time, and I think it's Linda's turn to come up and do announcements. Linda is our secretary of the board.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Announcements. Join the rabbi tomorrow from 11 to 1 p.m. at the Flower Mound Police Department Faith and Blue Chaplain Chili Cookout.
That's tomorrow, yeah.
It's being held at the Cavalry Chapel on Cross Timbers. Come out, cheer him on, and support him in trying to bring home the win for CKA.
Don't count on it.
Oh, come on.
I made New Mexico chili, so it's not what you're expecting.
We will be holding a Simchat Torah service here at 10 a.m. on Sunday, the 8th, that's this Sunday. Join us to roll it back and prepare to start the cycle of reading Torah again for 5784. We're getting ready to begin another session of Introduction to Judaism on October 19th. It's an engaging course for adults interested in exploring a modern take on Jewish life. In our 13 weekly classes, you will explore a wide range of topics covering chief aspects of Jewish life, including holidays, life cycle, core beliefs, prayer, the Bible and other sacred texts, history, anti-Semitism and the Holocaust, Israel, the North American Jewish experience, and the diversity of the Jewish people today. Registration is required. Please visit the website for more details and to sign up. The American Scripture Project invites us to engage together with some of our country's most historic writings in order to wrestle with what it means to be an American and to be Jewish in the 21st century. Using the methods of Torah study at each session, we examine a seminal American text and unearth the meaning of the words, elevate their implications, and wrestle with the contradictions posed, allowing us each to derive our own meaning. There will be 6 sessions in total, beginning in October and wrapping up in May of next year. So please visit the website to get more details and to register in order to participate in the project. CKA continues to partner with Carter Blood Care for our quarterly drive to support our community with life-saving blood donations. Our next event is Saturday, October 21st from noon till 5 p.m. So please sign up on our website to help those in desperate need. Appointments are available between 12 noon and 5 p.m. Please contact our CKA sponsor, Melissa Hart, with any questions. Congregation Kol Ami has changed our own process. This year, families can pick a date or dates when they would like to host. And you can sign up on the website under Member Tools. You may host and provide food directly, or you can sponsor an oneg with a minimum donation of $40.
Please help us with this important mitzvah and sign up on the website now. We want to make sure we have coverage on every Friday night. I'm going to do the Misha Bera list. Joyce Bloom, Natalie Bovino, George Cavanis, Mark Davis, Francine Feingold, Carolyn Goodman, Deborah Goodman, Michelle Griffith, Molly Kalig, John Kaufman, Deb Kaufman, Lauren Koenig, Alex Koenig, Al Landon, Matt Levin, Phyllis Lorelli, Steve Meyerdick, Mal Miller, Harold Nariah, Anthony Nariah, Jack Nygren, Paul Redwood Jr., Helen Rubel, Adrian Sandler, Charles Savitt, Dale Seaver, Barbara Sexton, Dennis Simoni, Rick Tabor, Susan Tabor, and Happy Waterman. Please give me any names as I look around. Yes. Miss anyone?
These are prayers for the sick. So if you have someone who's sick in your family, please share.
Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you. Thank you.
So we're going to be singing the Misha Bayrock. You'll find it on the very back page of your pamphlet if you got it, or page 40 in your purple prayer books.
Misha Bera Avotenu Mekor Abraham Laimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Bera Imotenu Mekor Abraham Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
So a couple of other things I'm going to draw your attention to. It is a Jewish custom after every service that we have a little food called an oneg, a delight. The word comes from the prophet Isaiah, who says you should make Shabbat an oneg. In ancient times, that would have consisted of wine and meat. Now it usually consists of a chocolate chip cookie. So we want you to enjoy that with us, and then I will be happy to answer your questions about what you've observed, and even force you to observe more things you didn't think you wanted to observe. But that's just a little bit in the future. Right now, we're going to do the concluding part of our service, and I would like to acknowledge Sai. Sai probably didn't decide to become the watchman of the door, but he very, very generously always does it when it's time to start the service. So I'm going to ask him to come up and join me for the Aleinu. Would you all turn to page 82, and if able, please rise.
Aleinu v'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, v'teis b'nai yotzer Bereshit, shelo asanu b'goyei ha'aratzot, v'lo sananu k'pishachos ha'adama, shelo san kelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol ha'monah. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malkei hamelachim hakadosh שאמונותי שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו, בגובה מרומי, הוא אלוהינו אינו, אמס מלכנו אפס סולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת עינו.
Please be seated, and please read with me. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair, and rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the sea, and illumine your universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad. The leaves fall as from afar. They fall with slow and lingering descent. And in the night, the heavy earth too falls from out the stars and into the solitude. Thus all must fall. This hand of mine must fall, and lo, the other one, it is the law. But there is one who holds the falling infinitely softly in his hand, in her hands. And so it is at this time we recall with love and appreciation all those who have passed away, whether it be recently, in recent weeks, or whether it be at this season in years past. So I'm going to begin by asking about Shiva. Is there anyone here who has lost a loved one in the last 7 days? If you have, please share the name with us. For Shloshim, for the past month, we want to remember Joe Friedman, the father of Linda Tavano and grandfather of Raymond and Sedona. And we also want to remember Lucille Goff, the grandmother of Julie Greenberg. Is there anyone else who's lost a loved one in the past 30 days? Please. Thank you. And for the yard sites, for anniversaries of death this week, we think of Carl Asman, Emily Cohen, Marlene Cohen, Don E. Dawsey, Sam Green, Jerry Golden, Elaine B. Kurjan, William Parker, and Joseph Shipman. Is there anyone else who's mourning an anniversary of death? Thank you. Thank you. The memory of these people are with us now. We honor them and we think compassionately about those who mourn for them by turning to page 85 and reciting the mourner's Kaddish. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlith malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye d'chol beit Israel, bagalal uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'elma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba mim shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mroma, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and comfort all the bereaved among us. And let us say, please be seated. Our closing song is going to be
David Melech Yisrael.
David Melech
page
Yisrael, a
96.
very upbeat tune, preparing us for Simchat Torah. It's pretty simple, even if you doubt it. King David lives and endures, all right? I think it may have something to do with medieval Jewish beliefs about reincarnation. Not sure, but in any case, David Melech Israel.
All right, page 96, if you want to
Page
follow along.
96.
David
Melech
Melech
Yisrael,
Yisrael,
Chai Chai V'Kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam.
Shabbat,
Shabbat
Shalom,
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom Shabbat.
Shalom Shabbat.
David
David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam. David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. If you have not fulfilled the mitzvah of the lulav and etrog, we've still got them here. And Shmini Atzeret means you can keep waving right to the very end. So we'll catch you on the way around. But right now, let's go do Kiddush and have some fellowship. You guys too, come on. You're gonna get yourself some juice or wine, and then you have to wait, and then you'll drink it, and then we'll